Bonjour, guten Tag. Bonjour, guten Tag. I don't know why I had to re-say those, but I just felt like I had to. What the fuck is up, guys? Welcome back to the Hangover series. How are we doing? How are we feeling? I am in my new apartment check. My first time recording in a new place. I think the audio should be like slightly better now. I don't know if you can hear the toilet, but our toilet does make an odd noise, but I don't know if you guys can hear that. But my old apartment, the AC was like so loud that you could always hear it in the background of every episode. So I'm hoping now that we're in a more quiet place besides the toilet, maybe the audio will be better. Who knows? Still have 13 boxes to unpack, and I'm taking a break because I'm hungover. Of course, I'm not surprised. You're not surprised. We're not surprised. We drank, obviously, wine last night, and then we got more wine, and then we got buffalo dip, and then we got guac, and then we helped a random man in the grocery store. He was like looking for the wine, and like I was also looking for the wine, and then he's like showed us a picture of the wine that his girlfriend sent him to get. He's like, where would I find this? Because I think he was a little bit turned, and we helped him find his girlfriend the wine that she was looking for. And he had the hiccups, and I was like, I had the hiccups last week. It's the worst thing ever. And I was telling him that he needs to eat peanut butter, because if you ever have the hiccups and you eat peanut butter, it gets rid of them. I don't know what peanut butter has to do with hiccups, but try that out if you ever have the hiccups. But a lot of actually strange interactions happened yesterday in my new apartment. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna have to get used to this. When I was living at my old apartment, people never really approached me on the street, but we were being approached everywhere. My first interaction was we were walking to Trader Joe's, and some man like starts walking with us, and he was like, you look so familiar. And I was like, oh my God, am I getting noticed for the first time? Absolutely not. But I'm like, oh, like I don't really know what you say to that. And then he's like, how would I know you? I'm like, well, I have no idea who you are, so I don't know. And he's like, well, do you recognize my accent? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know if I know you, sir. And then he's like, I feel like I've seen you on TV before. And I'm like, I feel like you have me confused with someone maybe. I don't really know. So it was like a really interesting interaction. And then he's like, well, and I was like, well, I do have a podcast. Tune in. And then he like was like, okay, bye. I'm like, bye. The only other thing that happened was we went to Chipotle, duh. And I was ordering like everything in the bowl. Like when I go to Chipotle, I want everything. Like I'm like the corn, the pico, the guac, the cheese, the sour, the queso. Like I want literally everything they own at Chipotle. I want every ingredient in the bowl. And there's this old man next to me in line, and I love old people because their hearing is always a little bit bad. So I think sometimes they speak out loud and they obviously think that no one can hear them. So he's like watching me put everything on my bowl. Like I'm literally like that. And he was like, oh my God, like that's a lot of food. And then we made eye contact, and then he was like, is that how you get your skin so nice or something? And I was like, yeah. Cause like what? It was funny, and I love old people. But today's episode, I had people write in some questions. These are questions from literal strangers that have no clue who the fuck I am. And I had people write in some questions that we can answer because I thought that would be kind of fun. I have never done an episode where we just like answer strangers' questions. So I was like, let's do that and see what the fuck is up. These are questions. I said they could write them relating to literally anything. Like it could be about drinking, it could be about friendships, it could be about whatever the fuck they wanted it to be about. I just needed questions to answer. I did have one hater, and she asked me if she was getting paid to ask me a question. And she's like, this is free labor. I'm like, what? I don't think she knows what free labor is. Like no one has to ask a question. So if you guys ever feel like you have to ask a question, know that you never have to do that. The most asked question was, what is your worst hangover story? That got asked like a ton of times, so I feel like we have to start off with my worst hangover story. I like couldn't think of any, which I think that might be the best part. If you ever have anxiety, the best thing about it is like, I don't even remember my most anxious, if that's a word. I don't remember my most anxious day moment ever. I've definitely had really bad anxiety before where I'm like, I need to not exist anymore, and like I need a new name, and I need to change my identity, and I need to be rebirthed. I've definitely had those moments, but the best part is that I literally could not tell you when those were or what happened. Like maybe if I really thought about it, I could think of it, but like the best part about anxiety is you're going to forget why you even had anxiety, and so is the rest of the world, because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone cares about us as much as we think people do. So it's going to be okay. So I had to ask some of my friends, like, can you tell me some of our anxiety, like hangover stories? Because I cannot remember. And we have a few. I'm going to tell you 2 of the worst hangovers that I've ever had in my whole life. So once upon a time, I was dating a man, and this man was in a frat. And the frat that he was in had like, I don't know what it was called. I'm going to call it frat camp. So there was frat camp, and like you went out into the woods or like some area where nothing was, and like everybody set up all these tents, and you camped there for the night and drank alcohol and did things like that. So obviously I had to bring one of my best friends with me to frat camp because I was like, I'm scared. Like, where am I going? And I don't really like camping. The only time I've ever camped was like when I was a child, but I was in like a trailer, so I don't really know if that can be counted as camping. And then I went camping for like my 22nd birthday, but we basically just slept in the camp, and like we just slept in the camp. We slept in the tent, and like that was about it. It wasn't like true camping, I don't think, but we did start a fire. But back to the frat camp. So we set up our tents. I don't think I helped in that. I have a video of me like stepping into my first tent ever, and the vibes were up, but it got really, really cold at night, and I don't think we brought enough like pillows or blankets. I personally wanted to bring an air mattress to put in the tent, but my boyfriend was like, we're not bringing an air mattress. I'm like, I think I'm dating the wrong guy, because the right guy for me would let me bring an air mattress. But really, besides the point, it was freezing cold all night. So we like slept like absolute dog shit. We were so cold, and I don't even think I brought like enough layers, because it was, I don't know why I feel like it was summer, but it clearly wasn't summer. Or does it just get really cold at night no matter where you are? I don't know what month this was, but basically we tried to go to bed, and we're all obviously hammered, and people were playing music on a speaker for the entire night, like literally the entire night. So I don't think I even slept. I think I was just like cold and awake and shivering and like thinking about like being at a frat camp. And we left at like 7 a.m. the next day for some reason. Like I remember I like looked at my phone, and they're like, hey, time to go. And I'm like, wait, it's literally 7 a.m. and what the fuck? Why are we leaving? Like, if the birds are not up, I don't want to be up. I don't remember birds chirping, you know? Does anyone know what I'm saying? The birds were not up. So that was an experience for sure. Another one of the worst hangover experiences ever was, I think, on like my 20th birthday, maybe 19th birthday, not sure, but it was some birthday. And me and a group of friends went to the Ozarks, which, if you're not familiar with the Ozarks, it is a lake in Missouri, and it's very large, and it's a good time. So we went there with a bunch of random strangers that we did not know. One of my friends was like friends with someone there, and so we went and we all stayed in this super tiny like hotel room. There were 2 bedrooms. They gave us 1 bedroom, but there were probably like 17 people staying in this little tiny area. And I think everyone thought we were very strange because we were like 20 years old, and they were all like 22 years old or 23 or something. Just different vibes were going on. That is like, we can go over that entire trip one day in an episode, but I feel like I would need my friends to go through it with me, because that trip was actually like the weirdest and most insane thing ever. But it was my birthday, so we went out to the bar with our fake IDs, and I remember when the clock struck 12, I have all these videos of me making people say like, happy birthday, Erica, happy birthday. And I don't know why I made people say happy birthday to me, but I'm like not surprised. But the bartender was like, oh my God, like how old are you turning? And I was like, 20 or like 19 or how I think I was actually turning like 19. And he was like, what the fuck? Because he had been serving me drinks like all night long. But then we had to drive home the next day, like early in the morning, because you have to be out of like hotels at like early in the morning. So we were driving home and we were all so hungover, like literally dying. And one of my friends, we had to pull over probably 15 times or something for her to like get out and throw up. And we were just like not okay. Like I think she was throwing up blood at one point. So that was definitely like the worst hangover experience of my life. And she wanted us to like take her to a hotel so she could fly home instead of take the like 6-hour drive that we were on. It was really bad, and I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. Like having to stop, like driving long hours while you're hungover is hell enough, but then like feeling nauseous is even worse. So those have to be like two of the worst hangovers of my life. The next question is, what do you do to cure your hangovers? When I have a hangover, like what am I doing? So typically it really depends on the kind of hangover that I'm having. Sometimes I wake up with like a pounding headache, and I'm just like, my head will hurt like all day long. And then sometimes I wake up and I'm like so drowsy and like nauseous. And then sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like a psychopath and I have so much energy and I want to like rule the world for a second. So it really just depends on what I'm doing. But for me personally, I don't like to just like sit in bed all day because I feel useless. But then there's sometimes when I do just sit in bed all day. So it kind of just depends on like who I am when I wake up, when I'm hungover. But I try to drink like water before I go to bed. I try to eat like a little snack or something. But to be honest, I think when I eat like too much food when I'm really drunk and I go to bed, I wake up feeling really terrible the next morning. So I think just like drinking water and maybe eating a little snack is fine. But I don't think whenever I eat like so much food when I'm drunk, I just feel so gross in the morning. So I try not to like eat 7 burritos from Taco Bell, and I limit it to like 3. And then the next morning, I force myself to like take an immunity shot or drink some celery juice, drink coffee, and get outside and go for a walk or lay by the pool or do something in the sunlight if it's nice out, because the sun will cure your hangover. Like there is nothing better than sitting at a pool hungover and just like, I don't know. I swear the sun like takes the headache away from me. It does something, and I love it. So that would be my best hangover cure. Like a nice day. Drinking in the summer is the best. So a nice day, waking up, taking all the things I need to take, making a delicious breakfast sandwich is also key, and then laying by the pool all day long, or the beach, or whatever you have, or the porch, whatever you need to lay out and be in the sun in. That's what's going to cure my hangover for sure. Also drinking, you know, like if someone texted me and was like, do you want to go get bottomless mimosas? Hangover equals cured. Everybody knows that if you just drink more, the hangover goes away. Not that that's really good advice, but that would also cure my hangover, is drinking bottomless mimosas until I'm doing cartwheels around the town. I wish I had something more to say, but my hangovers are definitely getting worse than they were when I was younger, but I think they get even worse when you're like 45. So I'm just going to like continue curing them this way until I'm 45 years old and need severe help. One guy commented though that his favorite way to cure a hangover is he has 2 pieces of bread and then a huge glass of water. And I'm like, I think I've heard people doing that, and that sounds really smart to do, like eat the bread and then it soaks up the alcohol and then you drink your water or something. So maybe next time I go out drinking, I'm going to come home and eat 2 pieces of bread and drink some water and see what happens there. So I feel like that might be a new hack that I need to be doing. The next question we have, someone said they haven't gone out much in the past 7 years. They have 2 small kids, and they asked, what kind of drinks are people ordering these days? That is a great question. First of all, I think when you go to the bar, you should order whatever the fuck you want, because who gives a fuck what you're ordering? But I do understand, like, what the fuck are people even ordering? But, like, order whatever you like, you know? Like, who cares what anyone else is ordering? Order what you like because you're paying for it and you're drinking it. So if you're going to be doing that, you might as well get something you enjoy. My go-to at a bar is typically a tequila soda or a vodka soda. It's a little bit ruthless. It's a little bit dangerous. It's a little bit scary. And I love it. Even though the tequila normally tastes like absolute dog shit, it's pretty good. I know people order those sometimes and will put like their own Mio in them. If you're into Mio, you could do that. Sometimes I'll get like a tequila pineapple. Love a tequila pineapple. That's always delicious. Sometimes I'll get even like a vodka Sprite could be good. I know a lot of guys will drink like a Jack and Coke, I think, when they're out. I don't really study what guys drink, if I'm being honest, but I think I've heard of them drinking Jack and Coke. A lot of my friends like Dirty Shirley's. So that could be a go-to. It's a fun color. It tastes good. Some of my friends really like cherry bombs. It's like a shot. I hate them, but you might like them. Vegas bombs, tequila shots, lemon drops, kind of whatever, or a beer. But honestly, those are kind of what I see people drinking the most, if I had to guess. And those are kind of what I just see around me. But okay, our next question is, what is my take on dating apps versus meeting people at the bars? This person said they feel like both kind of suck, but bars are a little bit more fun. I have gone on more dates, I would say, with people from dating apps. Not that they were successful in any way, but it was kind of fun to meet someone on a dating app and then you just like randomly meet them in public. Dates can be scary, so it's definitely interesting. I'd say I feel like a lot of the men on the dating apps that I have encountered are more so looking for a hookup or something along the lines of that. I had a man literally ask one of my friends if I would be down to just be casual with him. Is that not insane? Like, I'm sorry. You looked at me and thought, I want to be casual with that girl. Like, that's disgusting. Just bizarre. But anyways, I feel like a lot of the guys that I've gone on dates with from the dating apps are looking for hookups. So I might also just be really bad at reading their profiles. I kind of just like, if I think they're hot, then I go out with them. I don't like look too much into it. But there are definitely men out there on the dating apps that are probably looking for serious things. I have like a couple friends that are dating guys from dating apps and they are having successful relationships. So don't think that they're all just trying to hook up with you. I think that's just like my personal experience. But I think dating apps can be fun. I just personally haven't had any crazy good experiences on them, but I'm kind of looking to go on double dates on them because I think that'd be more fun to have like my friend there. But then that might give them the vibe that I'm not looking for something serious, but I don't really know. I think for the dating apps, like if you're looking for something serious, maybe put that in the bio so people that are also looking for something serious can like approach you. Meeting people at the bar, I don't think I have ever met a man at the bar and like gone out with them, but I don't think men really approach women at the bar anymore. Like, I don't know the last time a man came up to me and was like, can I have your number? And then asked to actually take me on a proper date. I don't think that's ever happened to me. So I think you could definitely find your person at the bar. I don't know where the approachers are because I haven't seen them anywhere. But that could be fun because then at least you guys know you have like a little bit something in common. You like to go out and mingle. So that could be good. But our next group of questions, this person asked me a lot of questions and I'm very thankful for them doing this. So let's get into it. This person said, do I really need another shot of tequila? Well, you've come to the right place. You always need another shot of tequila. And I will say that until the day that I die. Anyone that has ever met me knows my obsession with tequila shots. So I'm never going to deny a tequila shot. Like if you ever were to be like, do you want a tequila shot? And I said no, I would be worried for myself. As a stranger, if I said no to a tequila shot, like I would be like, is she okay? Does she need a hug? Like something has to be wrong. So I vote that you should never say no to a tequila shot because who would do that? Who would do that? The next question is, does Fireball really burn your intestines? I am not a doctor, so I have no fucking clue, but I will say when I drink Fireball, it does burn me and it does pain me, but I'm not sure the science behind that, but it does hurt me. It does frighten me a bit. I've only ever drank Fireball at like football games and things, but I would never willingly go buy Fireball and be like, this is my drink of the night. But it does burn me for sure. Does drinking hard seltzers give you heartburn? I feel like this person thought I was a doctor. I don't know the answer to that question either. Heartburn. I actually really don't ever get heartburn. I don't really fuck with seltzers though, because I think the carbonation, like, I don't like burping. That might be a crazy thing for me to say, but I just don't like it. So whenever I drink like carbonated seltzers, I like have to burp and I like don't want to burp. And that's that. They also just make my stomach feel so full and like I just don't love them. But I'm actually going on a trolley for St. Patrick's Day next weekend, and everyone's like, what are you bringing? Everyone, as in like one person, has asked me what I'm bringing. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue. Like, why was I planning on bringing like a bottle of tequila and drinking that? Is that insane? Should I not be doing that? Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. But if everyone else is bringing seltzers, I cannot be the only psychopath bringing a bottle. Like, I'm going to look insane. So it looks like I'm going to have to be drinking seltzers. I don't know what I'm going to do, though. Do they have, like, non-carbonated seltzers? Does anyone know? Please help. I was thinking about bringing the Trader Joe's Cosmos, but I was told no. I was told no, which is probably smart. I'm trying to last, like, all day on St. Patrick's Day. Like, I'm trying to go from, like, 8 a.m. to, like, 7 p.m. Like, I want to make it out. But if I drink those fucking Cosmos, we all know what's going to happen. I'm going to be in a sewer. Next question. This person said, I'm seeing double. Should I still go talk to her? Sir, no. What the fuck? Absolutely not. If you're seeing double, I would recommend going home and going to bed. If you were seeing singular, yeah, go ask for her number. But double? That's like slightly concerning, and you're probably going to scare her if you go up to her. And don't tell her that you're seeing double. If like you really want to do it and you're seeing double, sure, but don't tell her that, because she's going to be like scared of you and she's going to want to get you a water. So if you're saying double, go drink some water and go home. But if you're saying singular, go ask for that girl's number. If two tens ask me to buy them drinks, should I? Well, first of all, every woman is a 10. So yes, you should buy them drinks. If any woman wants you to buy them a drink, you should buy them a drink because they deserve it. And yesterday was International Women's Day. So we love men that provide. And the easiest way to provide for us is by buying us a drink. If you buy a woman a drink, she's going to start seeing angels fly out of your head. And we all want that. I want that for you. So yeah, if anyone's like, can you buy me a drink? You should be like, absolutely yes. You should actually give her your credit card for the rest of the night. Then she will really like you. So absolutely buy her the drink and give her your credit card information. The last and final question for today is, are there any valuable lessons you've learned from your previous or current friendships or relationships? What I have learned, and I continue to learn as I develop deeper friendships. And actually, I think I've learned this a lot from moving and like having to navigate making new friends that I've never met before in a state I've never lived in. It's okay to go on these friendship dates and like meet people and not be obsessed with them and not want to hang out with them ever again. I think I have struggled with in the past, like not being able to navigate like who is a good friend and who is not a good friend, because I just think like when I meet people, like I always just try to understand them and like these people and get to know them on a deeper level, and I'm willing to give everybody like so many chances sometimes. But I have learned that like if you catch a bad vibe from the start, like there's probably a bad vibe and you don't need to continue hanging out with them and seeing if they change and if the bad vibe goes away. Just like trust your gut, and it's okay to not like everybody. Not everybody likes you, so it's okay to not like everybody too. It's okay to cut ends with friends and people that don't align with you anymore. Everyone's on their own path of life, and it's okay to distance yourself from people that aren't supposed to be in your life anymore, and that's okay. And also, I think it's important to realize that like some friendships are going to end, and that is totally okay, and it's not the end of the world. It's okay to let people go. You don't have to have any like huge major dramatic problem. You don't even have to have a problem to begin with. If you just like don't see yourself aligning with people anymore that are in your life, depending on the friendship, like I think it's okay to just kind of slowly start distancing yourself, and just align yourself with people that are more on your wavelength and that lift you up and make you feel like the best version of yourself. So that is what I have learned about friendships this year, I guess. But that is all I have to say. Hangover series. Thank you to everyone that wrote in a question. I appreciate it and love it so much. Let me know if you liked a question episode. I don't know. I thought it would be kind of fun to try out, but let me know if you enjoyed it. And I will catch you guys next week.